my biggest retirement budget fears and then the reality as it worked out 3 years into retirement. I'm 57, retired at 54. Also got what was the biggest difference in my budget pre-retirement to post-retirement, and what was my biggest overall surprise. So hang on for this video. This is by request. About half my videos come from questions from viewers just like you, so don't hesitate to give me a topic. You know, if you're 4 or 5 years, 10 years from retirement, you're starting to work on your budget because you've learned that the amount of money you need to save for retirement to be financially independent is 100% linked to your expenses. So $500,000 for one person may be the same as $2 million for another person as far as covering years of expenses. Hopefully that makes sense to you. You got to understand your expenses, and right inside of that, if you're on the FIRE movement, you need to know your expenses. So, hey, this adds a lot of fear. What are my expenses going to be in retirement? What is healthcare? The number one fear, boogeyman out there for retirement is, how do I afford healthcare? What's it going to be like? What can I get? Inflation, taxes, gasoline, you name it. There's just a lot of fear out there with your budget. And then there's positives out there like, travel, entertainment, visiting family and friends. What are those things going to cost? So like I said, I'm 3 years into this, and there's been some fears that just did not pan out, some that did pan out. So I want to just explain what that budget process has been like for me pre to post retirement. This is Joe Coombe, a gentleman of leisure. that came from a viewer. How do I describe myself? I retired at the peak of my career at 54 because I wanted to start a new journey. What's important in determining when to retire is, when do you have enough? When is enough enough? And I reached that point and I decided to jump. So let's get right into it. Budget, fears, and reality. Healthcare. I had retirement healthcare through the company that I worked for, but they kept raising the costs, and it was $1,850 a month for my wife and I. I actually found Farm Bureau health plans, $900 a month. That included dental and vision for my wife and I, $3,000 deductible, 100% wellness care. I love it. I love it. Farm Bureau health plans. There's also, I've got a video out on this. You've got short-term plans, which are very good with high deductibles if you're a healthy person. Then you also got affordable care if you can get your income low enough. The subsidies are very good. If you can live off some funding or some savings, can't use your 401k, because then that, when you bring that to cash, you have to pay taxes on it. Looks like income. So healthcare was a big surprise positive for me. I was saving almost $1,000 a month of what I had planned for my budget. Didn't even think about this when I was working. Didn't even think I was paying like $200 a month. It was nothing. When you're in retirement, it's a big deal. You do a lot of shopping around, a lot of research. And again, I got a video out on that. Pre-retirement, I filled out a budget of what we were spending, and that included a travel budget, what I expected to spend. I'm not putting in my 401k anymore. There were some expenses that went away. And that budget bottoms up. I took months to create it. I'm actually spending about 80% of that. So 80% of what I thought I was going to spending. Part of the solution is I just have all kinds of time to dive into cost savings ideas. Here's a few of them. Cut the cable, $200 a month. The healthcare, $1,000 a month. Talked about that already. My wife and I go out to eat. We like going out to eat, but we go out for lunches now instead of dinners. Probably about 50% reduction in our entertainment budget just doing that, just because we like doing that. Home maintenance, I'm doing a lot more by myself because I have the time. Put down a couple floors myself. We have always done all of our painting, so I never, any minor things I could do like that. Here's another surprise for me. This is embarrassing, but I'm not driving my car as much. We're not putting the miles on it. My estimate is we're saving $5,500 a year in mileage on my car. It also lowered my insurance premium. Homeowners insurance, I switched from a $1,000 deductible to a 1% deductible, saving $400 a year. Auto insurance, I with State Farm and got this Drive Safe, little module in my car, saving $350 a year on that. I cut out my life insurance, $150 a month or $1,800 a year. These things total up to $22,450. That's on the low side. $2,000 a month of things that I can just dive into. When my clothes washer broke and I needed a new circuit board for it, I just got on YouTube, looked at, this certain error code, troubleshot it, went and bought the part. It was like $75, would have been about a $500 charge for have somebody come out. Focus on reoccurring expenses, things that happen. A $50 charge that happens every month is worth going after more than just something that happens one-off once every couple of years. So think about those reoccurring costs. Got all kinds of time to work on it. I guess when I was building my budget, I didn't anticipate I'd have that much time to really dive into being a frugal, not cheap, but being a frugal buyer. Number 3, pre-retirement, I didn't really stress the budget. I thought I was going to stress the budget every single month in retirement. You're not working anymore. Boy, I need to make sure where every single penny is going. I don't do that. I do a deep dive once every 3 months, look at what we're spending. I don't look at any individual month because you could pay taxes, property taxes that month. You could, have a large expenditure. I put landscape lightings out of my house was like $700 one-time expense. Things like that. I found it better to do a deep dive once every 3 months and make sure that we're on track. And I have been every 3 months. So no adjustments have been made. I'm 3 years in. The stock market, before you retired, I didn't worry about the stock market. When the stock market went down, that was actually a great time. The dollar cost average in at a low price. It was a good thing. If the stock market's down, it's a good thing. Am I going to stress that every single day? Look at my balance every day. I've been in the 3 years since I've been retired, averaged 10.4%. That's including being down 12% year to date. I was pushing 19% at the beginning of this year return for close to 3 years. So I'm getting outstanding stock market returns for where I'm invested. I use buckets. I've talked about that several times before. It gives you tremendous peace of mind when stock market's down 10, 12%, 30%, 40%. I know that I have 4 years in bucket 1 to manage me through that. Just don't touch my stocks. If they stay down for 3 years, I may make a move, but anything less than 4, I shouldn't make a move. So you wouldn't believe the panic I get in the comments from the stock market being down this year. What are you doing differently, Joe? What are you doing? What are you doing? I may have to go back to work. All these people, bear market corrections and bears happen. Plan for them and don't stress it, okay? If the stock market goes down for 3 months and your whole retirement plan falls apart, you don't have a good plan. Plan means you plan for bad things to happen and they're not surprises. So the stock market being down, I thought I was going to stress it. The buckets has just been a great approach. I understand there's comments out there around how it destroys some value, but if you get value from that lower returns of having some money out of the stock market, that's worth something. It's worth a lot to me. So number 5, I got, hey, if you have every day is a Saturday and one Sunday, 6 Saturdays and one Sunday is how some people describe retirement. Saturdays, people can spend a lot of money when you're in your working days. That's your days you go out for entertainment, you may play golf, you may go and do something where it's a spending money day for entertainment. Hey, if you have 6 of those, you can spend a lot of money. And this takes some effort. This does take some effort, just be honest, reality in retirement. But look, there's so many ways to spend your time and get fulfillment, joy, and be entertained without spending any money. Time with friends. I used to spend 5 minutes talking to somebody if I'd run into them at a store or pick up on the phone and call them. Now you could spend an hour, hour and a half with them. I call up friends and go over to their house and just sit around the back porch and talk, drink a Diet Mountain Dew, drink a water. I'm president of a nonprofit called Park Pals. I'm the president of our homeowners association. All those things are free. They get me engaged with people. I talk with people. We talk through issues. We talk about remodeling that they're doing at their house. And that's exciting for me. Gathering with friends. I got a retirement group that's free that we get together once a week on Fridays. I have a study group that meets once a month. We study historical figures. We pick a new topic and research them and read them. I probably invest at least 10 hours into researching that topic. We're talking about the War of 1812. Coming up here next time, hosting that at my house. Focus on hobbies that make money. I make money through YouTube. I make money from my book. It's about $80 a month from my book. I do some light consulting. Some people think, hey, Joe, you didn't retire. You're really working. You're working. I worked 15 days last year, so I'm not stressed, okay? So I'm really not working that hard. Just as another example, I haven't consulted a single day here in 2022, except for 1 hour phone conversations. I do a couple a week, 2, 3 a week, sometimes no more than 4 a week, where I'll have an hour consultation with somebody on reliability maintenance, on retirement, or career coaching. I love doing those. It's a low dollars per hour that I make, with the time that I invest, like in YouTube here and in my consulting. But it's a fun hobby where I make a little money. I write articles. I speak at national conferences, especially on reliability and maintenance. They pay for my hotel and for me to go to the conference and get free admission, get to talk to people. I love making an impact in that space. I got something to say, and I got some experience around doing things different. Love doing that. I'm an audiobook junkie. I get them free from the library. Health, fitness, history, investing. I'm also a YouTube junkie, and YouTube's got a great algorithm to feed me a whole bunch of stuff. I can, a minimum of an hour a day, I'm on YouTube. Most days probably pushing 2, trying to learn something. Not news. I stay away from news and the drama of daily things. It's more historical perspective on things. World War I, World War II. Investing, I love that. I love fitness. There's a lot of doctors that I listen to on fitness and on eating right. Spent probably most of my time on health and eating right, most of my time. Fasting's probably a close second. So those are my 5 things that, I've just said, budget fears versus reality. I'll be honest, they've all ended up being positive. All my news is positive. There's no shock in there that say, oh my gosh, here was an unforeseen cost that came up. I'm 3 years in, we'll see. What is most different? And this is not directly a budget item, but it's very powerful in retirement. And it's why I retired. A big reason why I retired is time spent with family and friends. It's totally free. You can pick up the phone and call somebody, talk to them during the day, go out to lunch with them, meet them over at their house, drink a tea on the back porch, just talk with people. I have a high school friend that I meet with every other month and talk to a couple hours. I would have never done this while I was working. And I run into people at the store and just talk to them for maybe 45 minutes, an hour at the store because I can. That has been the most different thing for me in retirement. And I really put it in this budget item because it's free. It is a free thing to do, is to work on your relationships with people. My dad and mom, being able to spend more time with them, just showing up on a Tuesday afternoon, sitting on their back porch, just sitting there talking and not being rushed, not running off to stuff, children events, things like that, priceless. I'll also mention most different is traveling during, and I knew this, traveling during non-peak seasons. You can save a lot of money. We traveled 12 weeks last year. We stay in hotels that are probably just a step below what I used to stay at when we were when I was working and making a lot of money. These are not bad hotels. I love staying at like the Quality Inn, Hampton Inn, Best Westerns. Very nice places, but we dial it back just a little bit because we can, and it doesn't mean anything to our ego staying at a $200 a night hotel when we can stay at a $95 a night hotel. Be honest, for us it doesn't mean anything. Biggest surprises, how much you can do for free. So many people think everything costs money, and there's just an insane number of free things you can do out there. Nonprofits, reading, exercise, learning, relationships. And you can spend a lot of time on these things. If it's a priority for you, you can spend an awful lot of time on them and not spend a nickel. I mentioned that my wife and I like to eat out. We like to go to diners, and we go at lunchtime. Probably spend half the amount and have better quality food, unique food, mom and pop kind of places. That's been a great surprise for me. We weren't planning that in our entertainment budget. We're spending less because we're going for lunches. So hopefully this helps. Give me some ideas on topics. I'd love at least 50% of them are from you. This is Joe out.